We are blessed with your presence, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming from so long. I will again recite Madam's profile. Ms. Madhu Ahluwalia, ma'am, is management expert, trainer and educationist with more than 30 years of experience in education domain. And also, ma'am is working in the capacity of senior advisor at Quality Council of India since 2015. Ma'am has also served as project director of various projects under Ministry of Education, CBSE, and monitoring the assessment of NDMC schools, evaluation of more than 5,000 schools under Delhi government. And also ma'am has worked quality interventions in MCGM schools in Mumbai. And many more things I have to speak about, ma'am, but I will request you, ma'am, to come on the dais and please share your thoughts, your views, and please, with your word of wisdom, we want the knowledge from yours.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Time2Grow and Jai Singh, sir. Am I audible? Yes. For giving us the opportunity to be here to interact with you all. I am representing Quality Council of India, which is a body created by Government of India, an autonomous body created by Government of India. So in next 15 to 20 minutes, I'll be talking about who we are, a brief introduction about ourselves, and especially what all we do with respect to education. So if I may ask a question, what is quality in a very simple words? Any one of you? I've been hearing about a lot of things are happening for students. A lot of empowerment has been given to teachers to execute certain tools, etc. But the basic principle is, what is quality? What do we understand by quality? Since I'm representing QCI, so I'll be talking about only quality. So anyone can? Yes, ma'am. The best of? Yes, can be. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You. Yes, to be pure. Yeah, excellence is something. A very simple one-liner of quality is meeting the requirements and expectations of a customer. So we were created with that theme. Our organization was created with that theme to understand and assure each and every customer gets what he or she expects and the requirements are met. So we were created in 1997 by Government of India to assure quality in various sectors. That can be manufacturing, service, medical, health, etc. And idea was to ensure quality. Quality can only be ensured by assuring it or by endorsing it as a third party. When I say that meeting requirements of the customer, who can ensure that customer is meeting the requirement? The giver cannot ensure. It has to be a third party who can ensure whether the customer is getting all what he or she expects. So that is, with that principle, Quality Council of India was created in 1997. And the focus at that time was only manufacturing, lean, etc. But in 2007, in one of the conclaves, quality conclaves, the then President, Dr. Abdul Kalam had come, and he said, I will only come and become a member of this quality mission if you start assessing the schools. Then, since then, the idea was mooted, and we then created a standard and started assessing schools on quality. So that is the brief about our organization. These are this is our chairman, Mr. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲𝗲, who has worked with McKinsey for 34 years. Our operations, business, overall in charge is Dr. 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲𝗲 Singh, who is an educationist. He has worked with 𝗖𝗍𝒑 and is pure education person. The next one. So this is the structure of Quality Council of India, if I may show you that we have 5 verticals. We are in our entire creation very clear that what each vertical is going to do. You must have heard of NABH, NABL during COVID times. So these were the 2 verticals which were very, very prominent during COVID times. We are representing NABET, which is National Accreditation Board for Education and Training. Our other boards are conducting various projects with ministries. So these 3 verticals, NABH, NABL and NABET, these are the verticals working under a very, very strict compartment of their responsibilities. We work with a lot of ministries, we have conducted a lot of projects, but today I'm only going to talk about the education and how we are helping schools, teachers, students to get the quality output. So, next slide. I think this is, These are the various projects which we have conducted. You can skip this. This is the main focus where we are working. Our major focus is accreditation of schools. With NEP 2020, everybody is talking about the quality. That's the biggest shift which has come from basic to quality consciousness. So, our focus now is how to align our assessments, accreditation along with NEP 2020. We very closely work with Ministry of Education to set goals, targets, create standards for quality. So our major focus is accreditation of schools. This we've been conducting or assessing schools for the past 14 years, since 2007, since we are a government body, and we know that accountability of quality comes voluntarily. We cannot force quality on anybody. We can only make people aware of quality. We can make them accountable of quality. So since 2007, we've been conducting assessments of schools. Schools from all over India are coming to us for their assessment. They want to understand their gaps, their strengths, their improvement areas, and how can they plug those gaps. So we have created a standard by studying all the benchmarks across the world, and we have created a standard which is called NABET Accreditation Standard. So on that, we've been conducting assessment and awarding certificates to schools for the past 14 years. Since we are a government of India's autonomous body, so we do not have that kind of, bandwidth to promote ourselves. We only want to promote with our work. We conduct a lot of online workshops because during pandemic, we wanted to help the schools and the teachers to understand how to impart quality education online. We have seen that a lot of times teachers, they approached us where they were struggling, as everybody talked about, a lot of tools available all across the platforms, but they were not even aware how to use those tools. So we created a lot of workshops for them, online workshops for them, where we gave them a lot of inputs on how to use those tools. So if you see, our role is not of an assessor, regulator, statutory body. We are just facilitators or advocate of how to get the quality. So we conduct a lot of online workshops, a lot of offline workshops on what quality is all about, how to create quality, what are quality parameters, what do you understand, how a student gets benefit. A lot of things are happening, a lot of initiatives have been taken by schools for the students, but whether the student is actually getting those benefits or not, how do you assess yourself? I have seen, we have assessed so many schools where principals are struggling that we have good teachers, we have not so good teachers. How to standardize that entire thing so that, if a teacher leaves, my entire knowledge should not go with the teacher. So we help the schools to create from a system dependent, from a person dependent to a system dependent process. So that even if a teacher leaves or a teacher who is good should share the knowledge, share the formats, share the expertise, and all the students get benefit out of it. So we conduct a lot of online workshops, we assess schools, we do a lot of quality intervention projects with Government of India. You all are privileged lot where you have everything in schools. But there are so many government schools where students are struggling to get the quality education. So there are certain municipal corporations, there are some certain commissions where they say that do not assess us, don't assess on infrastructure, on teacher recruitment, on financials, on learning environment. Please assess our students whether they are achieving what they were supposed to achieve. We all know that NCERT has defined certain outcomes. So we work very closely with municipal corporations like NDMC, MCGM or Delhi government, where we assess their learning outcomes and where do they stand and how a teacher, and we do not subject any kind of initiative on students. We only improve the teaching learning process. For us, every student is a good student, every school is a good school, every teacher is a good teacher. Everybody has their own plus, minuses, improvement areas, gaps, strengths, etc. We only help them how to overcome those gaps so that the student gets benefit out of it. So we do not judge the teacher, we only focus on how to improve the teaching learning process. So by understanding the gaps, by assessing the students, we figure out gaps, we talk to them, we observe classes, and then figure out how a teaching learning process can be improved. So we've been conducting a lot of projects with NDMC for the past 3 years. We have executed that. We also work very closely with NCPCR, DCPCR, those commissions where they are looking for, protecting the child right of students. So we execute a lot of projects, we execute a lot of case studies, research studies, and give them a lot of inputs on how to improve it. Next. So these are various projects which I've already spoke about, so you can skip those. Here is our role, very, very important, that what NEP 2020 talks about and what are we doing. They are talking about assessment and evaluation very, very clearly in their draft version and self-assessment in their final version. So our focus is how to work along with that. So we were part of CBSE when the SQA was getting created. We played a very active role and created a framework along with them. We also were part of Haryana's because we all know that now it's a state subject. Each state has to create their own 𝗘𝗱𝗁. So we work with state government of Haryana and we created the standards for them. We know that each teacher has to now acquire certain proficiency, professional development. So these are the various workshops, online, offline, which we are conducting on what competency-based education is, what is blended teaching and learning, preparing school, etc. I will take this privilege of all the principals. One person can assess or one person I can invite to attend my workshops free of cost. One person, whoever is presented today, will be allowed to attend these workshops to understand how we are conducting the workshops and how we are facilitating the teachers to take the session. Yeah, sure. My colleague Gitika and Adiba will take the names. And whenever the workshops will happen, we will invite one of you to come and attend the workshops online. So this is with respect to NEP 2020. This is the standard I was talking about, the NABET standard which we have created. 3 wheels, very prominent wheels, PDCA, plan, do, check and act. School governance, very important. Whatever we are planning, are we executing? Talks about the second wheel. If we are not executing, take the action again, go back to the first wheel. So this is a cycle which we work on, our very, very important cycle principle of school governance. As I said earlier, we are neither inspectors nor any regulatory body or a statutory body. We only come and facilitate the school to improve on whatever they are. As I said earlier, that for us, school is a good school. They have certain improvement areas, they have certain strengths. We tell them how to make changes into their areas to make them into strengths. Next. So this is the process on which we work. Our process is very simple, that since we are not a regulatory body, we only talk of that what are the areas on which a school should be assessed. We make and we ensure that each and every person of that school knows about these areas. So any school which says, please come and assess me, we say, okay, fine. But first we will come and give a small session on what is this all about. You should know on what parameters are you going to assess. So we give them a capacity building workshop. Whoever from that school would like to attend, they can come and attend. Once that is done, we create a small format, rubric, and tell the school to assess themselves. It is very important for school to assess themselves. Where do they stand? Nobody is looking at, nobody is going to judge them, but we tell them to assess. Once they have done the assessment, then we send our assessors who sit with the school authorities and assess on the same parameters and tell them whether they have assessed up or down. So that is our entire process. And then once we have done the assessment, we tell them, here you have to work on to go to the next level. Our method is not like yes or no. Ours is wherever you are, start your quality journey from there. We will tell you how to take the next step. That's our entire motto. Next slide. This is the new initiative where a lot of schools are coming to us who are, because our NABET standard has a threshold value. We cannot give accreditation or certification of quality to every school. So if a school which is not falling on that threshold value, we cannot grant accreditation. Hence, there are certain schools, they want to participate and unable to do so. So we have created a bucket kind of a system for them, that we will come to us, we will grade you and tell you where do you stand and how can you become to, or go to the next level, star 1, star 2, star 3, star 4 or star 5. So this is the new initiative which we are going to start from July or August onwards. We also give focus on teacher assessment. That's an area where we have created an IT platform where we give an opportunity to teacher to assess themselves on pedagogy, etc., on these parameters. Once the teacher assess themselves, they will get a score and a full report on how to plug those gaps. So this is another area which is very, very popular in Middle East. We have certain CBSE schools in Middle East where they want their teachers to be assessed. Each teacher will have their confidential report only to be seen by those people who she or he gives the right to see the report. I've already spoken about the workshops. So these are more list, a sample list in fact, where we are conducting a lot of workshops. So I would like to now end my presentation by saying that we are here to facilitate. We are a part of Government of India. We are not a profit organization. we only are surviving on whatever we spend. We charge the school on that, and basis on that we survive ourselves. So please, you're most welcome. If you have any questions, you can ask me right now, or I can share my card. You're most welcome to get in touch with us. Any questions anybody has? My number on the screen, that's a landline number, but anybody interested, Deepika, my colleague, will share my card with that person. You can take the card. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, please.